Step into the Incense and Whiskey sanctuary with mindfulness enthusiasts and verified whiskey lovers, Mecca and Ashley, as they discuss all the random topics they love, from mindfulness to memes. This is Ashley.
And this is Mecca.
Welcome to the Incense and Whiskey sanctuary.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Ashley, have you ever gotten a reading, or do you know what a reading is? I should say that.
My interpretation is a reading is someone, if you've gone to see a healer or some kind of individual that can give you a palm reading or reading of your energy and a summary of what they're sensing from you and your experience. Is that the same interpretation you're thinking of in terms of reading?
That's what I mean in terms of reading. Someone that has a gift to be able to kind of talk to your soul, to be able to talk to your higher self and just kind of read the spirits that are around you. And people that have passed over. So that can be a mediumship. Some people call it a clairvoyant or a psychic, and there's so many different modalities that can be used to accomplish this, to tarot cards, pendulums, and tea leaves, and there's so many different things that can be used. So have you ever had a reading before?
I have had, let me tell you the types of readings I've experienced. I have had a palm reading.
Okay.
I have gone and received reiki, and that's been like energy readings a handful of times. And I've had a clairvoyant. I have had a meeting with the clairvoyant. Yes.
Oh, so you've had several different modalities.
I've experienced a few. Yeah. I feel like there's a whole lot more out there that I could experience, but I have experienced those. And then most of these I've had multiple experiences with the same person giving me the reading. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And when you get a reading, are you going for clarification, confirmation on something, or you just kind of don't know and you're hoping to get an answer from it?
I think it depends on where I am in my life. I know my palm reading was probably the first reading I ever had, and I think that was more out of curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
And then my Reiki readings were more of, I think I was struggling with things internally and wanted to try Reiki based on what I heard from other people's experiences to get more self-aware and in tune with what my body seemed to already know that I couldn't connect with.
Okay.
Mentally, if that makes sense. So that's what
it does.
Reiki.
Okay.
Yes. Then my experience with the clairvoyant, I didn't know what was going to happen, and I just ended up in a situation. And this person I just ended up in a room with the clairvoyant and a friend, and he was just telling us some stuff, and it rang true for me. And so yeah, those are my experiences so far.
Okay. So I've had several readings before, and all different kinds as well. Clairvoyant, Reiki, I've worked with a medium before. Just a lot of it's out of curiosity, or sometimes I'm just looking for confirmation. Mm-hmm. And sometimes, you go to a reading and it may be very general, just kind of like, most people are like, oh, that's just a nice little woo-woo motivational speech. Or it could be something very specific to you, that you're like, wait, I didn't see that coming, or how did you know that?
Yeah.
Or you might receive some information that you don't feel aligned with, right? Mm-hmm. How do you deal with running into any information that you don't feel aligned with?
That's so funny. So I will say with my first experience with a palm reader, I received some information that I was just like, who could this person be talking about? It could be general. If I squinted and looked sideways, I could apply it to one particular relationship I was in at the time. Yeah. But I couldn't make it make sense in the way that she described it to me, if that makes sense. So I felt like I was out of alignment with that. But I was, like I said, that was out of curiosity. And so I don't think I let it consume me so much. But in recent years, I did go and receive some information from a Reiki, from an energy reading, and a Reiki specialist. And I remember thinking, like, I can't self actualize what this person is telling me that she sees for me. I
Mm-hmm.
do remember thinking that.
And when that happens, the one thing that, a person that does readings that has this integrity about themselves will let you know that everything that I'm telling you is still a choice that can be made.
Yeah.
It's not absolute and it's not definite.
I think
Regardless.
that's important for people to hear, though, Mecca. Like,
Yeah,
can you
it is. I think it's
on
very
that a little
important.
bit more? Yeah, speak on that a little bit more.
I
Because I
think
think somebody like me who doesn't know much about this space, but does, like, from time to time or occasionally seek out this information, it's very easy to either accept everything at face value or to be completely dismissive based on
right.
who you are and your interpretation, right? So can you speak on that a little bit more for those of us who are newer to the space or, still trying to make our minds up about it?
Sure. Again, it's just one of those things that regardless of the information that's being presented to you, it's more of what this person sees and they're interpreting. Some people that are giving readings can have very clear connections with spirit or very clear connections with, ancestors or anyone that's there, and they understand the words. And sometimes they don't understand the words and they have to try to interpret, right? So their
Yeah.
interpretation may or may not come from the same, may not even be correct. Who knows? But the one thing that I always say is that any type of healer or practitioner of this nature with integrity is telling you that all is free will. We all have free will, meaning that I could give you some information that may not be aligned with you, or that you may absolutely not want to, introduce into your life. You don't have to accept it. You don't have to accept it, and you don't have to believe it to the sense of like coming up. You hear people say, oh, you're going to pass away at this certain age, and then that person may live the next 25, 40 years thinking that they're going to be passing away at this certain age, and they've been preparing for it, ever since they got this reading, which is such a terrible thing, because that kind of like puts them in this limitation box. So I say my own personal opinion on this, and there's no wrong way to think about this. Say you get some information that you don't feel aligned with, counsel it. I say counsel, counsel, counsel. Somebody may give it to you. I don't receive it. We've gotten to a point where somebody tells you something about yourself, or maybe they give you some information. You may say, Mecca, I see this. And I may be like, Ashley, I received that. But if you don't receive it, just say, I don't receive that. And that's okay. I don't receive that.
I think it's important for people to know, like, you have a choice to say, I don't receive this interpretation or this viewpoint. I'm not going to accept that into my life experience or perspective. I think that that's powerful.
I think it's important too, because, some people are just a mirror and they just giving you back what you're reflecting. And even if you don't accept it, or maybe that what they could be saying is something that really could heal you, and if you don't accept it, you might not be ready to accept it. And some people, depending on what kind of reading, because I've had this, there's this thing called, there's a Akashic records, and within the Akashic records, when someone's giving you a reading from there, sometimes your beings, your teachers, and ascended masters won't tell you anything that you're not ready to receive yet.
Ooh.
So if that's the case, there may be things that's out there that you need to know, or maybe that will help guide you into this life and make it make sense and make it smoother. But if you're not ready to receive it, it won't come to you. And again, it all goes with having that mindset of, I'm just getting this information. I hope it's aligned with me. If it's not, then I don't have to receive it. If it's something that kind of puts a time limit on your life, or if it gives you this, like, you need to leave your spouse, you need to leave your friend, okay, but why? And then, some things you just have to kind of let it play out on your own. Sometimes people just listen to their guide and then just do exactly what they say without even knowing what the hell is going on.
Yeah.
So I would say take everything with a grain of salt. But, meditate on it. You'll get some information, meditate on it. If you don't align with it, say, I don't receive it. and counsel, counsel, counsel. You
That's
get the
important.
information, you can say, I counsel that, or
Mm-hmm.
counsel, counsel, counsel. I said that 3 times, or I don't receive it. Thank
Mm-hmm.
you. And that's fine. Anybody with integrity is not going to feel threatened, or they're not going to feel, they're not going to take it personal if you don't agree with it.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you letting me know because I
Yeah.
definitely have been in situations where I've been like, I don't know about that one. And I've gone back to the same person. I mean, it didn't prevent me from engaging, continuing to engage, or going back again. And she asked me like, what happened with this? And I was like, all right, listen, girl, I didn't quit my job. Like you thought that I needed to quit that job, but I did not quit that job. I
Right.
needed a paycheck, and I still need this paycheck. And she was like, okay, I can see that you are managing this situation better.
Right.
What have you. So I think there's a power in that, in knowing that you can accept or cancel those interpretations of information that clairvoyants or practitioners are picking up about you.
I
So
absolutely agree with that.
thank you for empowering us to
You
know
are
that.
welcome, as always. As always. Thanks for listening. Okay.
All right, Mecca. I have often heard people say things like, oh, I had such a hard week or month, and Mercury's in retrograde, so no wonder. And I have no idea what that means. Please, Mecca, make it make sense.
Make it make sense. Basically, the very short of this is Mercury retrograde means backwards, right? So everything that could go right goes not. I don't want to say wrong, but it could just happen upside down. So
Okay.
that's why they always say don't sign any contracts around Metro retrograde. Don't buy any new electronics or appliances, because whatever you think is going to go right is going to go wrong. People sent emails out during Mercury retrograde, and maybe it didn't go to the right recipient. Maybe it went to somebody else, or maybe it didn't go to anybody at all, and it was something important. So some information was missed. So everything that's kind of like, dang, I thought I did that already, is like, backwards, right? So it's like from the Latin term retrogradius, which means a backward step.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of just means that the apparent retro is in motion. So like, because it's an optical illusion, if you try to look at it, just kind of like look at, how do you say? Retrograde motion is apparent change in the movement of the planets through the sky. It is not real, and the planets does not physically start moving backwards. So this isn't something that physically happens. It just appears to do so because the relative positions of the planet and the Earth and how they are moving around the sun. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just one of those things that you just have to be conscious of. Similar to like when maybe you're going around people that are kind of temperamental, or maybe you have mood swings around your time of the month. It exists. What's going to happen. Just being mindful on how you approach it and how you approach things during that time frame. And so we have a few different retrogrades that happen throughout the year. The last one we just had was June 18th through July 12th.
Okay. So are we in retrograde now then, or are we about to enter a period of retrograde?
So we are not in retrograde right now. The next time we go in is going to be October 14th, and it's going to happen from October 14th through November 2nd.
Oh, okay. So it's not that long of a period, and it seems like we have a little bit of a break between now and then. Okay. So what does this mean? Like, is there a way to prepare for Mercury being in retrograde? Or like, now that I have like a couple of months to really understand this, what should I know in your
So the last time, tell me when your birthday is again.
My birthday is January 11th.
Okay, January 11th. All
I
right.
am a Capricorn.
And you're a Capricorn. Okay. So, again, there's not a whole lot to do to prepare for it, except for maybe you just don't make certain decisions. Maybe you don't, sign any contracts, make any large purchases, or anything that can go wrong that you need to have super careful eyes on, I would kind of avoid. If this is something that you think would affect you, it kind of really affects you if it happens during your birth month. But like, I'll give you an example for like the last one that we went through, which was June 18th, and July 12th. Well, that really didn't affect you, but like, I'll give you as your Capricorn, this didn't really affect you a lot, but it just said that like your one-on-one relationships are your main priority during this retrograde. The little B relationships is your bestie, your boo, and your business partner, and anyone you're beefing with. So for you during that retrograde, that could have been your main priorities was just the relationships that you hold, right?
Okay.
And that goes from connections to focus on to bring in the drama. You might run into an ex or ex-friend. You might take advantage of an encounter to find closure. You might even want to bring them back to your life after assessing that they have changed. So it's for you, it was about relationships. If you're currently booed up, or you're not currently booed up, if you're married, then struggling to get along with your partner, or just hitting a rough patch with a good friend. But you were able to find, or you worked on finding the root of the issues and finding solutions. So, one thing that it says is odds are it's all about communication. So Mercury does rule communication. And so one of the things is like speaking your mind, and you're really good about speaking your mind and talking about how you feel and making sure you listen to what the other person is saying and just be willing to compromise. So when retrograde came for you, it was all about mending, healing, or taking away relationships that were no longer serving you, right? So it's all about relationships. It's going to affect everybody different. So for me, and that was that period of time, right? So you think about it, like was something going on with you and your husband, where me and, we're creative partners. So maybe we were focusing on how our relationship would look. Maybe you were focused on something with a best friend, a coworker, your mom, your brother, any of those type of things. And so for me, I'm a Virgo. So I'll kind of give you, just for good measure, what that meant for my sign as well.
Yes.
So the Mercury retrograde isn't really impacting you on a personal level, but it's stirring up drama in your squad. So there are people in the and this actually held very much so true. There are people in your crew who, frankly, you've outgrown. You know the kind. They just take without transactional. Although you might already do, since you're an earth sign, it's nothing for you to give back. But be real with your friends. If your friends don't support you, this Mercury retrograde might bring the final straw that makes you decide to cut them off for good. On the other hand, you might run into someone you've had a past falling out with, so you can determine whether or not this person belongs in your life now, and if you've both changed. Words to rise. As much as you're being tempted to gossip, try to avoid it. That way you can minimize the drama and come out on the other side in one piece. So I think we kind of had a similar piece. For mine, it says working through any relationships that may or may not serve me. Also, there's some squirrels in the squad, and the ones that happened, it wasn't necessarily with me. Those dates, it was with other people, and I was just observing. Kind of like, we talked about this again? Kind of.
So it definitely rang true for you. And
it did ring true. Yeah, it rang true for me. So I think for Metro, just to sum it all up, for Mercury retrograde, just make sure you pay attention. That's all. Pay attention. No drastic moves, and just stay grounded.
All right, so we got some time to prepare ourselves, and everybody during the periods of October 14th to November 2nd, let's be present. Let's pay attention. They say opposites attract, but do they? Let's play a game called Fire and Ice. All right, Mecca, it's time for Fire and Ice. Are you ready?
I'm ready. What do you have going on?
Okay, my first is if Lin-Manuel
From
and
Hamilton.
from Hamilton and
Okay.
Aisha Curry, Stephen Curry. No, let me not introduce her like that. Aisha Curry, restaurant owner, cookbook author, mom of
Okay.
three, wife of Stephen Curry, owner of multiple businesses. Aisha Curry,
Okay.
give her props. If Lin-Manuel and Aisha Curry made a cookbook, a themed cookbook, what would the theme be? Because both of them, they good for the themes.
What was her last name?
Well, I think A Seasoned Life was the name of her first cookbook, and she does a lot of her theme. I think right now is like home, taking care of home. She has
Okay.
home goods, and then Lin-Manuel is all about Hamilton.
Oh, the Hamilton. So they would have a cookbook together. I actually, what's so funny this morning when I was cooking the vegan breakfast is I had an Aisha Curry denim apron on.
Hey, see, she's all over the place.
All over the place. I think that their theme would be singing of happy food. So he's going to be creating a play, or he's going to be creating a musical song to invoke happiness in food. So she's going to
Oh,
have like, I'm making this up. She's going to have like some breakfast dish that's like a casserole and some type of fruit with some whipped cream, something in there. And then he's going to say, this is the song that you sing 4 times to invoke this happiness within the song. And
so you
so
sing
the cookbook is going to have the sing along. It'll also have like a CD or MP3, some link you can go to, not CD, that was old school because I'm thinking about something else, but like a link you can go to and have a sing along with all of these songs, all these recipes. So you can sing the song and play the song as you are preparing this recipe.
yeah.
Bam.
Boom. You just create a whole business line for them. For real.
I
They
know,
can make some,
but I think that's
they
so
could,
cute, right?
yeah, I mean, they could definitely make some money off of that. I could see that being a thing for sure.
Yeah.
If you're out there and you hear us, you heard it first. Let us be your consultants. We can help you build this brand for sure.
Incense and Whiskey.
Incense and Whiskey right here. Okay. If Angela Rye, political commentator, Black woman advocate, we love her. I think she's
Angela
also
Rye.
Angela Rye. I think she's also a political strategist. And Rachel Ray, which I think we all know Rachel Ray, talk show host, cook,
Yeah.
also has a line of cookware and things. Dog food too. She's making a
Yeah.
coin. But if they came together and started a business, Mecca, what would they be selling?
Ooh. Angela Rye and Rachel Ray. Ooh,
It's a tough one.
this is a tough one. Angela Rye and Rachel Ray. What would their business be? Okay, so Angela is a political guru. She can break something down. She can break any type of speech down. Anything that is caught in a whirlwind, she can break it down and analyze it to a T. Rachel Ray is really good at making the ordinary food extraordinary. So I would say they would have to have like these little political snacks. It could be a basic snack. It could be a basic like potato chip. Maybe it's a dark rustic potato chip or some type of fun popcorn, but the bag has to have some type of reading material on it. You know, you have like a really great maybe you had a really great piece of, I don't know, some candy and you like looking at the wrapper like, ooh, what's in this candy? Who is this by? They are going to have some really fun snack, something crunchy. Cause when you in this kind of work, being it political or cooking, you need that crunch. You need to keep grounded, stay grounded. So they are going to have a fun, crunchy snack. And there's going to be some type of like, if I rule the world, statement along with a semi like bulletproof plan written on this little snack bag. I know that sounds like a lot, but
it's like mentor snacks.
Yeah,
Like,
mentor snacks. Yeah, it could be mentor snacks. You look at those, was it Bonner's? The soap
oh
that
yeah,
has
Bonner
all
soap.
the, what's it called?
I think it is Bonner's.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right though. Every inch of that label is covered with some kind of
With
statement.
content, right? Yeah. So I think the snack is going to be great. It can be some ordinary snack, but Rachel Ray will put her thing on it and make it taste amazing. Angela Rye will give us the content that we need, that we can be reading that content while we snacking on that good snack. You
So,
know,
food for the soul and for the belly. That's the Capricorn right there.
look at that. Food for the soul and food for the belly. I like that.
Y'all better get this Incense and Whiskey consulting services right here. All right, so we got next up Tiffany Haddish and Bill Gates decide
Ooh.
they want to host a party. What's the vibe? Who's invited? What are we listening to at the party?
Bill Gates and Tiffany Haddish hosting hosting a party.
A party, yes, girl. Who's first of all? Let's start with who's invited.
Well, Bill Gates he knows pretty much everybody.
I know, like, is this a I think this is a global. Like, Bill Gates take it to maybe it's a global guest list. Even
It's
Tiffany
got to
had.
be global. It has to range from everything from politics to tech companies to entertainers, and that entertainers can mean actresses and actors and comedians and musicians and Broadway play actresses and actors, and then everything from angel investors to just worldwide international investors. The list can go long, but very concentrated. It has to be concentrated guest list. And the theme, Bill will let Tiffany handle the theme. I think that he will allow her to come up with the theme. And it might even be concentrated. We have a group of conscious people in a concentrated area. I don't know if that really sounds right, but you got two individuals that are very smart in their own right, and they come from two completely different backgrounds. So you have this concentrated number of people. It's almost like Bill Gates and his people, his list, Tiffany's list, all come together and they mesh well. Because once you get a little drink in your system, everything is nice and rosy. Everybody blends together. Everybody is chatting it up. Everything is so exciting. Everything is heightened when there's a little Remy in your system.
Okay.
So I think
drink of choice at this gathering. It sounds like.
Say it again.
That Remy is the drink of choice at this gathering. It sounds like
that is some of it, right? So you have that, and I don't know. I can't think of the theme. I'm still kind of stuck on conscious concentration.
Yeah.
And it'll be a lot of talk of what's going on in the world. There's not going to be a comedy show. There's not going to be something where the entertainers are entertaining anybody else. They are having a great time. They are guests at this party, and no one's entertaining the next person. They are all having these one-on-one conversations, a few group conversations. Nobody is working to gain the attention of anybody else.
Gotcha. Okay.
I mean, what do you think? What would you add to this party?
I mean, I think that you're right. I think that maybe it would be connected to some cause. I think Bill Gates at this point really uses any social outreach that he does for a certain cause or platform. And I think Tiffany Haddish would definitely jump on board. And she's someone that consistently talks about certain themes that are important to her. Women in comedy, supporting children in the foster system. So I think those two forces coming together could definitely bring some awareness to some issues that don't get enough national or global treatment. So that's what
I agree. All right.
All right. Okay. Next, we're gonna have fun with.
All right. Another one. Okay, I'm ready.
Chrissy Teigen and LeBron James make a YouTube series. What's it about?
Oh boy. Chrissy Teigen. Okay, let me think about Chrissy Teigen. Chrissy Teigen is on Home Life. She got these kids she's holding down. She got John Legend she holding down, all while being like
been producing or been like helping to executive produce some comedy television shows lately.
Is there like a reality show she's doing where she's like hosting a party or something? I saw something like that.
I don't know. I see like there's a Chrissy. So there's like 3 TV things I know Chrissy Teigen is doing. There's like she was a host and I think an executive producer, maybe just the host on like a sketch comedy competition show.
Okay.
Like America's Got Talent specifically for sketch comedy with Kenan Thompson and some other people. And I know that she's got Chrissy's Court, where she's like a play judge in a court.
So wait,
like,
do people go to her with their like funny issues or like real life, like my boyfriend?
I haven't watched it, but from the clips I've seen, I think it is for funny issues. It's not like real life, like neighborhood disputes and stuff. Like it's not like that, I don't think. And then what's another television show? I read recently that she is executive producing some type of show with a bunch of professional chefs. So, yeah, and then LeBron James has his own production company now. So I think that they could be creating a very powerful YouTube series about what though?
So I feel like LeBron James is the kind of person that's always reaching back. He's always reaching back to ensure that the people in his community, the people in his like circle, or people that maybe are not, that's not as well off as he is or underprivileged, is like getting a fair shot.
Mm-hmm.
And he's played a huge instrument in that. And Chrissy Teigen is really great about making light of any type of situation. But she also is super grounded and she understands. She's not so above to where she doesn't get what, the haves. She understands the haves and the haves not. Is what I'm saying. Yeah. So I feel like this show or this YouTube video is actually about them giving someone a chance at something. So maybe it's some type of competition. And I don't necessarily want to say talent. It could be, I want my dream job, or I'm looking for this mentor. So, okay. So this is what I just saw this. I feel like I'm a student, I'm 17, I'm 16 years old, and I really want to be a fashion designer. And so I'm going to get on there with my some of the sketches I've done already, and even create a video talking about why I want to be a fashion designer and who would be like my ideal person to shadow or have as a mentor as I go along this journey. So Chrissy Teigen and LeBron James will basically make this dream come true. And set this person up for success, right? This means this person has this accountability of this mentor that they have dreamed up. Plus they have like this path that's laid out for them that allows them to like flourish in this. And, maybe they decide they don't want to do it. Maybe they decide they do want to do it, but they have a path as opposed to never being in that environment where they can quote unquote be a fashion designer or whatever it is that they want to do.
Yeah.
So they're making dreams come true with life decisions, career decisions. That's what I think. I think that would be fun. It's going to always be a tearjerker.
Oh yeah.
You're going to have some funniness to it. So it runs the gamut. You have some funniness to it. It's going to be emotional. I also feel like both of them both love what they're doing. Chris loves to be able to say, I helped this person. This is LeBron James. Like, if he wasn't playing basketball, I mean, he's already a philanthropist. So I think that this would be on par for both of them.
I love that. I love that idea. I would totally watch something around that for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Last one, Mecca. Are we ready?
Okay. Yeah, last one.
All right. If Reese Witherspoon and Miss Tina, aka Beyonce's mama, Miss Tina Lawson, I think is what she goes by now. If they designed a new restaurant, what would be the vibe? Like, what kind of restaurant do you foresee?
What would be the vibe? All I think of right now is Reese Witherspoon's and little fires everywhere. She made me so mad.
She played that character very well.
She played that character way too well, right?
Too well, so now you can't separate her from the character.
Right. All right. So if they were to have a restaurant, it definitely would have to be some Creole. It's going to be some like Creole buttoned up, a very buttoned up Creole food. So it'll be something super classy and chic, but Creole food. It'll have some cutesy name. The everything from the menu to the website to the napkins to what the waiters and the servers wear are all in theme. I don't know why I see pink plaid for some reason.
Because Reese Witherspoon is best known for her role in Legally Blonde.
And
And
I've never
the
seen
whole
that.
movie was pink. You've never seen the movie?
I've never seen Legally Blonde before. I mean, I've seen little clips of it.
You should definitely watch it for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you should watch it. It's definitely one of those fun, enjoyable movies to watch.
Yeah,
sure.
I think Miss Tina gonna run the menu. She's gonna run the menu. She's gonna make sure the food is great, and then Reese is gonna want to make sure aesthetically it looks a certain way.
Okay, and you know what I think must be on the menu for them?
What?
I think that they need to have like a special ladies brunch. Not that, like, I really do think this and I think that champagne must be served, specifically Ace of Spades.
Ace of Spades champagne.
Yes, because do you remember, I think it might have been the Oscars last year or 2 years prior. I think it might have been last year. Maybe it was, I think it was the Oscars. Jay-Z and Beyonce had showed up late and they brought their own champagne with them. And Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon went to their table and were like, "Can we have some of your champagne?" Now, I don't know what the situation was. Like, I don't know if like they ran out of champagne at their table or if it was like, okay, this is the really good stuff. Can we have some of your champagne? But I do know that they were caught on video like laughing about trying to get some champagne with Beyonce and Jay-Z, and Beyonce actually sent Reese Witherspoon some champagne afterward. And it was a cute little funny gesture, and Reese Witherspoon did a whole like unboxing video about it and was like, Beyonce are friends now. And I was like, oh my God, this is hilarious.
Oh, I did see where she talked about how they were friends, and Ellen was like, girl, no you're not, stop it. Catch us next time on Incense and Whiskey.
In the meantime, take a breath, have a sip,